You will own less and become more. People spend years trying to own more things without realizing their things slowly begin owning them. You finally buy the bigger house, the nicer car, more gadgets, more subscriptions, more responsibilities. Then one day you realize you're spending more time maintaining your life than actually living it. Maybe freedom isn't about owning everything you can. Maybe it's about becoming incredibly intentional about what deserves to own a piece of your attention and time. Now, what does ownership actually cost? These questions are ones that I need to repeatedly ask myself before any impulsive decision, purchase, or bringing something into my life. When did I first notice that owning something became more stressful than enjoyable? For me, it's always been the cleaning and maintenance aspect of things. The first thing that comes to my mind is when I got this little device like a garlic press. Put the little garlic clove in it. You press it down, and then it makes like a little bit of chunks or minced pieces come out. And although that was quick and efficient, then you had to remove some pieces, you had to clean some pieces, you had to wipe some pieces off, and the cleaning process became extensive and time consuming. And I was like, if I just would chop it with a knife, sure, it might take a little bit more time. I'd improve my dexterity, and it's a lot easier to clean a knife than it is to clean a lot of minor parts of the garlic press that I had. Well, possessions have generally increased my quality of life, which possessions quietly became obligations. That's an important aspect. What can give you more time, more freedom? Pull-up bar. There it is. Increase the quality of my life. Stretching. Very convenient, easy to set up. What possessions quietly became obligations? I'll need to look at my Amazon order log and history to identify, or to be at least thorough with, what I actually still use today, what I regret buying, what I'm still using. Which possessions have I hoped, what have I purchased hoping it would make my life easier, but actually made my life more complicated? Once again, got to go through my Amazon possessions. And what responsibilities came packaged with those purchases? All these questions I can ask myself over and over. You can ask yourself the same thing, and what you likely will realize is these things that we add or feel that we lack without, it just puts more things on our plate for us to be concerned about, engage in decision fatigue. It takes away from time. It takes our time away from things that, at least for me, is how I would prefer to allocate and invest my time. More reflection questions are as follows. What do you currently own that consistently asks for your attention? If it disappeared tomorrow, would your life become harder or simpler? Are you maintaining your possessions, or are they maintaining you? And every possession has a hidden cost. Besides money, what does ownership require? There's time, maintenance, insurance, cleaning, storage, mental bandwidth. And which of these costs surprise me the most? The one that has been more abundant than the others, or more noticeable, is decision fatigue. I've been slowly engaging in purging of clothes and shoes, knowing that I have about 10 favorites, most of the time 5, and then the others are backups of backups that I'm like, if the eclipse is happening right now on the 13th of this month, then that's, yep, I can see that outfit going together. Yes, I can see myself wearing that, but 99.9% of the time I'm going to go with the basic, most simple things that I'm the most comfortable with wearing. And that's what I would rather do. Spend more time on making decisions for things that I actually value versus spending time wasting mental fatigue on things that I know I'm going to, uh, I could wear that. Do I want to? Do I feel it? I'm hesitant. I'm just going to default to what I was going to wear in the first place. One of my 5 favorite outfits or combinations of the sort. More angles for exploration include opportunity cost, cognitive load, stress accumulation, attention is currency, and as I said, decision fatigue. And then there's the illusion of more. When have I believed one more purchase would solve my problems? And did it? How long did that excitement actually last, and what pattern have I noticed after buying something I've wanted? More so, I've been intentional with, can I see myself using this 10 years from now? Is it quality? Will it last? Does it require a lot of maintenance? What's the return on the time investment? Identifying those things that help me maintain or increase my foundational or baseline of quality of life, satisfaction, contentment, hesitating to chase those peaks of excitement of, ooh, that looks good, that sounds good, I'm sure that will improve my life, often to find out it drops very severely. It's a balancing act. Saying no more than saying yes can help narrow your clarity, or my clarity, of what aligns with my freedom, contentment, simplicity, knowing that simplicity is the highest form of complexity. How can I simplify my life so I can have enough patience and mental bandwidth to navigate the things that I choose to be challenging, such as music, own business, video game development. Everything else, I want it to be streamlined, automatic, barely have to think about it at all, so I can invest all my cognitive gear turning into the things that I want to be more present for. More reflection questions. How many things have you bought this year that you rarely use? How much of your home is actually lived in versus simply for storing things? And when ownership creates freedom, which possessions make my life dramatically better? Which purchases have paid for themselves through time, health, or peace? What things would I happily maintain forever? A few examples are good cookware, camera equipment, musical instruments, books, hiking gear, a reliable vehicle, a quality mattress, quality shoes. What are those purchases that we use on a daily basis, or at least a weekly basis, that we can spend, or that we can use to reduce the amount of time doing a mundane task, therefore increasing the amount of time we can invest on something that we actually value. Health, time, peace. Music, headphones. Health, cooking utensils, got a rice cooker, or technically it's a steamer, but it mainly cooks rice. I got a mixer for when I make my flatbread. I'll make a video in the future of how I make my flatbread. Just those purchases that I'm like, that's a good investment. There's very few of them, but I'm trying to make it more consistent, but then that also requires more consideration and more discernment with what actually I need, what actually would benefit me from being brought into my space. Ownership isn't bad. Unintentional ownership can lead to problems, excess stressors, and owning according to values If someone walked through my home, what would they assume I value? Would they be correct? Does what I own reflect who I actually want to become? That gets into the details of setting up your environment to support your values, your habits, your routines that you want to maintain, that you want to sustain. Because if it's in your peripheral vision, if you pass by it every day, the oh so increased chance that we will engage in it increases. Not always a guarantee, but eventually we'll get tired of looking at the thing and, oh, I got it for some reason. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to do this or implement that. Now is as good of a time as any. More reflection questions. Are your possessions supporting your values or replacing them? And freedom through subtraction. What became easier after I owned less? What did I unexpectedly gain? Peace, time, space, money, creativity? Yes, 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 and yes. The less you own, the more time you can spend on the things that you want to pursue instead of maintaining, worrying, concerning about things. All my time and energy can go into expressing, pursuing, creating. Is at the core of freedom itself. Freedom from and freedom to. More questions. Why do humans often confuse accumulation with progress? Why is letting go emotionally difficult? What fear is hidden underneath clutter? What identity are we afraid to lose when we let something go? Asking these questions of yourself can reveal some uncomfortable truths, some things that we've been numbing ourselves, escaping ourselves, engaging in temptations or pleasures. Maybe because our identity doesn't have that foundation of being enough already. Therefore, the more we obtain and accumulate, maybe I'm more valuable because I have this thing, not because how secure I am internally. And then ownership versus attachment. Can I own something without becoming attached to it? Could I lose this tomorrow and still be okay? Am I stewarding these possessions or clinging to them? Attachment versus detachment. A very interesting psychological philosophy question to ponder. Pretty sure it's in Buddhism. All suffering comes from attachment. It's okay to own things. It's okay to be attached to some things. But when we own too much or attach to too much, then are we potentially running away from something? Trying to escape something, trying to numb something, trying to bury something, and all these possessions. We value the external more than appreciating the internal, knowing that we can't take our external possessions with us. And that can just take up time for listening and hearing what's truly inside. Because we always see the next shiny thing that can distract us. More angles to explore are through minimalism, stoicism, Buddhism, identity, and impermanence and control. In closing, maybe freedom isn't measured by how much you own. Maybe it's measured by how little owns you. Every possession asks something from you. Some ask for maintenance, some ask for money, some ask for your attention, some quietly become part of your identity. The question isn't whether you should own things. The question is whether they're worth the price they continue asking you to pay. Because the most valuable possessions aren't the ones that fill your home. They're the ones that create more time, more peace, and more freedom to live according to your values. Every possession has a maintenance cost. Own the things that multiply your freedom and question the things that quietly consume it. If something resonated with you, consider leaving a comment below and sharing what felt most impactful. To support the channel, you can like, subscribe, and/or share this video with someone who you feel might also benefit. Additional ways to support the channel can be found in the links in the description below. You will also find a link to my website, cravingfreedom.com, where you can access my ebooks. On the website, you can also find descriptions of what to expect from the ebooks. And if you feel ready to commit to your path towards freedom and are seeking in-depth guidance and support, consider applying for one-on-one coaching. Answers to frequently asked questions can also be found on the website. Thank you for your time.